Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine time, right? Not just a straight line past to future, but something, well, much more fluid.
Mm.
Back in 1949, the physicist Richard Feynman, just brilliant, he gave us this description of a positron. He
Mm.
said it starts from where it hasn't been and speeds to where it was but an instant ago. Arriving there, it is bounced so hard its time sense is reversed and it returns to where it hasn't been.
Wow.
The implication there is, well, it's kind of mind-bending, isn't it? Our whole picture of the universe just unfolding step by step. Maybe that's incomplete.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the core of Feynman's insight there, it's that this tiny particle, the antiparticle of the electron, it seems to operate outside our usual forward flow of time,
Exactly.
which suggests, maybe reality isn't just unfolding sequentially. Maybe it's already more complete and we're just sort of encountering more of it.
Yes, and this isn't just, physics on a blackboard somewhere. Today in this deep dive, we connect this quantum weirdness with the poet William Blake, with some really intriguing passages from the Book of John and even a very personal story, an experience about consciousness itself.
Hmm.
Our goal really is to unpack all this and maybe reveal a powerful perspective on reality and, crucially, the potential that lies within you.
And that really brings up a key question for you, the listener. What if your own mind isn't just watching time and possibility go by?
Right.
What if you're actively shaping your experience of them? By bringing these different threads together, Feynman, Blake, John, this personal account we hope to offer, maybe a kind of shortcut to understanding your own creative power.
Okay, so let's dive deeper into Feynman's positron. He wrote about this in the Science newsletter back in October 49. It wasn't just a simple particle bouncing off something.
Whoa.
He saw it act as if it hit something and literally reverse direction in time. A turnaround, he called it.
And the really important takeaway from Feynman, that
Yeah.
there isn't just the strange behavior, of this one particle. It's the radical shift in thinking he proposed. He suggested we might need to consider that the universe isn't just developing linearly from past to future, but that maybe the future, in some way, already exists.
Yeah.
And we're just moving through more and more of it, experiencing increasing portions.
Okay, now let's shift gears. William Blake, poet, artist, visionary. He talked a lot about the soul and these things he called eternal spiritual states. How does he fit in?
Well, Blake's core idea was that eternity isn't something far off we reach for. It is. It's the immediate reality,
Right now.
right now. He believed all things, all possibilities, exist within this eternal realm, already there, independent of what we think of as creation, which he saw more as an act of mercy, actually. For Blake, everything past, present, future, it's all simultaneously present, everywhere, now.
Okay, see, this is where it gets really interesting for me. You've got Feynman looking at tiny particles, and Blake looking through this poetic spiritual lens. And they both seem to be pointing towards something nonlinear, a reality that isn't just a straight line.
Exactly. Feynman sees hints of it in the fundamental fabric of the universe. Blake sees it as the very nature of existence itself.
So if you connect those dots.
What it challenges that everyday assumption, doesn't it? That the future is just caused by the past. Both of them hint at something much bigger, where possibilities aren't necessarily being created moment by moment.
But are maybe already present somehow.
That's the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
Already there, waiting to be experienced, perhaps.
Okay, now let's bring in another voice. Seems very different, but maybe not. The Book of John, chapter 14, verses 1 to 3 and verse 6.
Okay.
You probably know these lines. Let not your hearts be disturbed. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms.
Mm-hmm. Many mansions in some versions?
Right, mansions. Were it not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And when I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and I will take you to myself, that where I am, there you will be also. And then verse 6. I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. How do we square this with Feynman and Blake?
Well, one really fascinating way to look at these verses is psychologically, not just as history, but as an internal dialogue.
Meaning
the I who is speaking.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not just a figure from 2,000 years ago. Maybe it's your own deeper self speaking, your own consciousness, your own being.
So, in my Father's house are many rooms, not literal rooms upstairs somewhere.
Exactly. You could see those rooms or mansions as infinite possibilities, infinite states of being.
Okay.
And they become accessible through belief. But maybe not just belief in something external, but belief in yourself, in your own inner potential.
And I am the way, the truth, the life.
If the I is your own being, then that becomes an affirmation of your inherent power, doesn't it? Your power to access and live out these possibilities using, well, using that inner self as the guide, the way.
Wow. Okay, so a physicist, a poet, ancient scripture, all hinting at this reality that's bigger, maybe more accessible than we usually think.
It's a surprising convergence, isn't it?
It really is. Now, to make this maybe less abstract, let's talk about a specific personal experience someone shared, which seems to kind of weave these threads together.
Right. This person described consciously, deliberately, shifting their awareness away from their physical body while lying in bed.
How did they start?
They began just by imagining themselves sitting in a chair in another room, looking back mentally at their own body on the bed, just creating that sense of separation first.
Okay, distinguishing awareness from the physical form.
Precisely. But then it went further. It didn't just stay as imagination in that sense.
Right, it wasn't just visualization, it became more direct.
Yes. They then intentionally withdrew their awareness, but this time without aiming for a specific place, just the intention to be separate.
And what happened?
They found themselves, well, in these enclosed spaces, like rooms, sealed rooms, each with a very distinct atmosphere. One felt pleasant, welcoming, another felt unsettling, hostile even.
Wow. Sealed rooms, like the mansions, perhaps?
It certainly resonates, doesn't it? And what's really key is how they describe the feeling within these states. They felt like the animating power in those rooms.
The animating power. What does that suggest?
It's a powerful phrase. It suggests their awareness, their conscious presence in that state was what gave it a kind of life or energy.
Okay.
And this led them to an insight about fertilizing these states.
Fertilizing them, how so?
The idea that emerged was that by consciously entering these potential states, these rooms, with your imagination and your feeling, you're essentially adding energy to them.
Like planting a seed.
Exactly. Imbuing them with potential, creating the conditions for a future manifestation, a future harvest, as they put it.
Yeah.
And crucially, this might be happening all the time, consciously or unconsciously, just through our thoughts and feelings.
Okay, let's try and tie these strands together now. How does Feynman's positron, that turnaround idea, how does that relate to this experience of leaving and returning to the body?
Well, think about it. You consciously withdraw awareness. That's like moving away from your current physical location in time and space.
Okay.
You exist momentarily in that other imagined state, that room. Then you return your focus to your physical body. It's like moving back to where your body was. And then you experience that bounce back into full physical awareness, maybe bringing back the feeling, the essence of the state you visited. It mirrors that positron's journey, away, back, and then forward again, potentially changed.
And Blake's eternal states, how do they connect to these rooms in the experience?
Those sealed rooms encountered, they seem like very concrete experiential examples of Blake's idea.
Like stepping into one of these pre-existing possibilities.
Precisely. These infinite possibilities, these states, are just there, eternally present, as Blake suggested. And the act of consciously entering them with your imagination is like activating one, stepping into it.
And the I, from the Book of John, the I am the way part.
That connects directly to feeling like the animating power in those rooms, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It points to the idea that your imagination, your own sense of I am, your consciousness, is the force. It's the power that engages with these infinite possibilities and brings them into focus, gives them life.
So the suggestion is our imagination is the creative principle, like the sperm of God, as the text put it, entering these states.
That's the analogy used, yes.
Yeah.
It's a way of saying our focused consciousness is the active generative force interacting with the potential of these pre-existing states or rooms.
Okay, this is deep stuff. So if our imagination is this powerful, how do we use this practically in our daily lives?
Well, the key difference is moving from unconscious creation, just letting thoughts and moods fertilize states randomly, to conscious, intentional engagement.
How would you do that?
Just like the person in the anecdote consciously moved their awareness, you can consciously direct your imagination. Choose a desired state. Let's say experiencing success in some venture. You would vividly imagine that success. Feel it. See it. Hear the positive reactions of friends, maybe. You immerse yourself in the feeling of it being real, now. Not wishing for it, but assuming it.
Right. Living in the end, as some would say.
Exactly. And how does this deliberate act connect back to Feynman and nonlinear time?
Yeah, what's the link there?
By dwelling in that desired state within your imagination, really feeling it's real, you are, in a way, mentally occupying a future that hasn't physically manifested yet.
Like the positron going where it hasn't been?
Sort of, yes. Then, when you return to your normal awareness, you've created an imprint, a tension, maybe. And reality, the sequence of events, then starts to rearrange itself to align with that dominant, vividly imagined state you impressed upon it. It's like you experienced the bounce and brought back the blueprint.
And we heard about some examples of people actually doing this, didn't we? Seemingly with real results.
Yes, there were a couple of striking accounts. One person, apparently after hearing these ideas, just started to deeply assume they owned several properties, really felt it, even though at the time they owned none.
Yeah.
And within, I think it was about 2 years, they actually acquired quite a significant real estate portfolio, quite unexpectedly, through various means.
Wow. Okay. And the other example?
Another person was facing a legal battle that looked like it would drag on forever. Lots of delays, complications. They decided to just persistently hold the inner conviction, the feeling that it was already resolved. Swiftly, favorably, they completely denied the evidence of delays in their mind.
And the outcome?
Apparently, the case suddenly got fast-tracked, everything fell into place, and resolved very quickly, just as they imagined it.
So in both cases, the key seems to be that deliberate focus, holding the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even when the outside world screamed the opposite.
That's exactly it. A denial of the current facts in favor of the assumed reality within imagination. It really underscores that imagination isn't just idle daydreaming.
It's an active, creative force.
Yes, and this ties back to Blake again, doesn't it? He said, man has no body distinct from his soul. That called body is a portion of the soul discerned by the 5 senses.
So the body is just what our senses pick up from our larger imaginative self?
That's the idea. Our physical form is a kind of limited focus, a limitation we impose on our true imaginative being. And we can potentially detach our awareness from that limitation to consciously interact with other states.
This seems to lead into different ways of understanding all this, like layers of meaning.
Yes, the source material talked about typically 3 levels of interpreting scripture, but maybe it applies more broadly to how we see reality too.
What are they?
Well, the first is the literal or historical level.
Yeah.
Seeing events as just external facts. What happened, where, when.
Okay, straightforward.
The second is the psychological level, and that's mostly what we've been exploring here today. Right? Seeing these stories, these concepts as metaphors for inner processes, how consciousness works, how imagination shapes reality.
Right. The rooms as states, the I as our own being.
Exactly. And then there's a third level,
Which is?
the personal or spiritual level, where everything isn't just a metaphor about you, it is you. It's experienced directly, subjectively, as your own being unfolding.
Can you get an example?
The example given was the biblical story of Moses' rod turning into a serpent. On this third level, that's not history or psychology. It's a direct personal experience of, say, the energy rising up your own spine, the creative power within you awakening.
Okay. That's profound. Now, if imagination is this powerful and we can fertilize states unconsciously, that means we could be creating things we don't actually want, right?
Absolutely. Through habitual negative thinking, worry, fear, we might be unconsciously energizing undesirable states.
So what's the implication of that?
Forgiveness becomes really important. Forgiving ourselves for the unwanted harvests in our lives, and forgiving others, because they might also be caught in states they unconsciously created or entered.
Like Blake said, separating the person from their current state.
Precisely. Blake's wisdom here is crucial. Always discriminate between the state of the man and the man. A person isn't defined forever by the state they happen to be manifesting right now.
Because their true nature is.
Imagination itself, as Blake also put it powerfully, man is all imagination. And the God is man, and exists in us and we in him. The eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself.
Wow.
Seeing it this way fosters compassion. It helps us understand that undesirable outcomes often stem from imaginative activity that wasn't conscious or deliberate.
So the ultimate possibility here isn't just understanding this intellectually, but actually experiencing this deeper self, this imaginative core.
That seems to be the potential, yes. Through conscious practice, like that anecdote about the dentists arguing about immortality, it's just abstract debate until you have a direct experience.
And you don't need to be a mystic to get a glimpse.
Apparently not. The suggestion was even a simple exercise. Just sit quietly, close your eyes, and vividly imagine you're sitting in another chair across the room. Really feel yourself there. Sense the room from that perspective, then shift back. Just doing that with focus can give you a tangible feeling of your awareness being distinct from your body, capable of moving and returning.
A little taste of that separation and return.
Exactly. And then there are those more unusual accounts, like the wife reportedly seeing her husband in 2 places at once. While anecdotal, it hints at how far this principle might extend.
Right, and even the less pleasant side, like the story of the person experiencing sharp neck pain after a very vivid imaginative return, like a meteor hitting.
Yes, that serves as a reminder that these inner explorations can be intense. They have tangible effects. It's not just playing pretend.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. It's been quite a journey. We started with Feynman's physics, this hint of nonlinear time, moved to William Blake's vision of an eternal present, where everything exists now.
Right.
Then looked at the Book of John, interpreting those rooms as inner states, possibilities within us,
Accessible through our own being, our own I am.
and tied it all together with that personal account, which seemed to demonstrate this power of imagination to actually enter and influence these realms.
And the core insight, the main takeaway for you listening, is really this. Your imagination. It's not just some fuzzy mental tool for daydreaming.
It's more fundamental.
It is fundamental.
Yeah.
It's presented here as the creative power itself, your true self, your immortal core. And it has this incredible ability to shape your experience of reality if you learn to consciously engage with these infinite, ever-present possibilities.
So a final thought maybe for everyone to consider, if every thought, every feeling is like a seed you're planting in these infinite rooms of potential.
What kind of garden are you cultivating?
Yeah. Consciously or unconsciously. And what could actually become possible in your life if you truly started to embrace the power, the incredible power of your own wonderful human imagination?